ashes burn in the still of the night. It's our turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to roll!
What's up, Star Wars Unlimited fans? I am here with one of the ShowMatch competitors, Dark Tyler from Maclunky. How are you doing?
Good, I'm doing great. I'm excited for some fun Star Wars tonight.
Yeah, and we've got a banger. We have a match between Mace Windu, piloted by Ian Klein, and your teammate Krusher, piloting Jango. So, what are your thoughts on the match before we look at the list, Tyler?
So, just even before the deck list going, these both players, very, very skilled, very competitive. You know, just going into it, we knew that it was going to be a spicy one. I know even talking, with, Krusher over the week, normally his name's Austin, but, Krusher over the week, or the past 2 weeks, we've been discussing the deck list and stuff, preparing for the list. And, when we get to it, he's definitely gone a similar route to, his 2 PQ winning deck. So not a surprise that he's on, the aspect he chose, but I'm also intrigued by, the mace deck that we have in front of us right now.
Yep, and yeah, before we get to Crusher's list and talk about him, we have Ian Klein, who I've met a couple of times in person, and is a heck of a guy, and he's Mr. Han Yellow, and really just revolutionized that deck, including some great work at Gen Con. He taught the Han Yellow Masterclass, and he is piloting Mace Windu, so getting into the Force. So, what do you think about this list?
So, it's got a very interesting mesh of different kind of archetypes. We have a lot of the similar, I guess now the Han Yellow classics for units and all that we have, but then a lot of the Ray Red classic removal spells. So I'm very going to be intrigued to see how this game plays out. While it has a lot of aggressive units, but a lot more of a controlling event, setup. Only one surprise strike, but full 3 force throws, daring raids. I think it's bombing escort, the one that the 2 damage for ground units as well. Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, I think you'd have to qualify this as mid-range. I mean, just because it has significant removal, it's not playing all the pumps like Frank's deck was. It's playing heavy discard. I see 3 pillages, 3 force throws, and 3 spark of rebellions. So
yeah, it is very true to nature.
Yep. And then in the sideboard, he's got an Azatuk with space, which is certainly something that he has to respect because it could be Jango Red, which is a good deck that I've seen too.
It's definitely a good deck.
We now know that it's not, but it certainly could have been when Ian was deciding this. And then he's also got an Ahsoka down there. Here, I'll move your window for a second. Greedo.
So good.
And Fang Fighters, for upgrades. So, all right, and let's check out Crusher's list. Oh, the standings. Yes, we go into this 2-0 Bothan network. So, Maclunky has played the 1 game, and Bothan has played 1 game. It was 2-0 there. All right, so we have Crusher's list here. And tell me about this. You helped him testing this? I know that you've...
Yeah, so... Yeah, a lot of classics from Boba Green, the deck that he piloted to 2 PQ winning events, him and our other teammate, Philip as well. They played very similar lists, but they were on the, 30 health. So ECL was a very interesting choice. I think that was more prepared to be a bit faster on the side, because now that we don't have Boba ramp opportunities, it definitely makes it a lot more challenging. But you definitely still play the classics that are now coming with set 3 with, ISB Agent is a great, value engine for Jango. And the new P31 Interceptor, also a great value engine.
Yeah, that card.
So it's got a lot of...
busted for Jango. I think it's really, really tough with the 1 damage, both on attack and on defeated. We saw, actually, your teammate use it very well with Grievous, dealing with some space units that Frank had out there. But, I mean, it's at its home in Jango.
Yeah, it's definitely at its home. Otherwise, you do have Spiciest, and then now there are 2 of them. Only a 2 copy, not a full 3. I will be greatly intrigued if you, can assemble the combo tonight of going Underworld unit into a Zuckuss. It'll be very interesting. And I do, I've been very high in the card. I have no idea how it's going to play. It's going to be the first, but the Infiltrating Demolisher, the 4-cost 4/5 exploit 1, Saboteur. Oh, great stats. Great stats, great type. I would love to see how it does.
Yeah, and he's not running Cad Bane that I see, which kind of surprises me.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just a specific meta call for against, this mace. The idea that a lot of us had was that it could be, possibly like a mace blue, like full, like kind of like Ray Blue style, like hard control.
Right.
And so maybe not expecting too many of these, yellow aggro cards. But it's also, Cad Bane, it only stops for a little bit, It doesn't get you most of the way through. So I can see it.
And I see 2 Dr. Evansons here. So if what he did was run his 2 champion Evansons, I appreciate the advice because that's the PQ champ card.
We'll definitely see.
I'm
I'm not as high on that card, but
I see no one limited MDR. Asked for Mike in the chat. I reconnected the mic. Hopefully that's better. Let me know. And then I see actually my opponent Phil Ritchie in the chat. Cheering on Ian. So let's get to the match. So here we go.
All right, I'm excited.
That's not the right scene. Here we go. All right, so Ian has initiative. I didn't change the name tags. I'll do that while I'm at that right now. So it looks like Ian on Mace has initiative.
Yep.
Let me find Ian's.
Yeah, so I'm very going to be intrigued to see how this match plays out. Just based on deck lists, it does seem that, they're both going to be fighting, quite aggressively at the beginning. I know Ian's got a lot of the better earlier game units compared to Krusher, but, with ECL, it does give you that edge, trying to push your way through. So I'll be intrigued to see who can, take over early game control and who gets put back onto the forefront,
Yeah, and I think ripping control of the board here with the mid-range on mid-range Badgel, really is important. All right,
It'll definitely be the absolute, we're going to be in for a long one, I can imagine. I think that it's going to be a lot of units trading into units.
Yep. All right, so I got the bases to 0. Oh, actually, they're still rolling for initiative. They both have initiative tokens out.
Just roll.
1d6. Oh, 8 versus 10. So actually, it will go to Krusher having initiative.
All right. It's going to be a very strong initiative roll, very important.
Yeah. I try to persuade people that, hey, maybe what we should do is do things that can't tie for initiative. But it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I get you. It's just the classic, double dice roll off. It's just so used to it. I know for other games we have like rock paper scissors, another classic one I've done where 3 just like paper cards of rock paper scissors and you just go off like that. But it's just so easy to bring dice.
Yeah, I'd like a coin. I like a coin. Our if you watch our weekly streams on Saturday nights, a lot of times I'll flip later night, lighter dark. Krusher playing the Vader sleeves. That's a man of my heart right there. Who doesn't love some Vader? And he tips his hand for us. What a pro. He was doing that at the PQs too. A lot of the CCG pros know when there's coverage to, help the commentators see a little bit, and we appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely rewarded.
All right, so we'll look at the chat. Somebody call a judge. Ian isn't playing Han 1. Who knew? Who knew he had other leaders?
He couldn't tear his face away from yellow, though. So, he's still a little bit of a friendly environment, but we will see.
Oh, yeah, and I see Philip taunting me in the chat that Obi-Wan's coming for you. Very slowly and methodically. I'll tell you what, though. I've seen some cool stuff out of Luke Green decks in set 3. They got help.
Oh, really? What exactly?
I think clone's good for that deck because
Really?
it's so it's so grindy because it can copy a loop, but it can also copy offensive units that the other side has.
I'm intrigued. The issue with that card is just my brain just feels like it's just so aggressively costed that it's just such a scary card to have. But you have to like really reorientate yourself to think about like how even if it's just bad in a situation, you can resource it. But
you're a Magic player, you think it should cost 4, right?
not necessarily 4, but a lot of times those effects aren't that strong.
All right, so
But
he starts with the dreaded Bazine Natal and reveals a Force Throw, Daring Rage, and Millennium Falcon. That's a pretty good hand.
yeah, and the wise, classic play of, you look at their hand and take their hand card.
So both players playing extremely powerful units into the ground arena on turn 1.
Yes, very known for super aggressive plays here.
All right, we got 37 people watching online. I'm sure we'll get much more on the ones. Oh, Krusher hasn't won around yet. Look at that.
So yeah, knowing who's going to have, control of the arenas definitely is still up for grabs. Both units really not known for taking control over anything. Krusher now takes a starting for the first blood. That first damage on base.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him whether he said Bazinga when he did that. Because that's something that we talked about in the Boba Masterclass.
Oh, and there we go. One of 8, one of 6 copies. Ramp is strong.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ian have anything to punish it? Okay, this is one way to punish it. Trying to rid him down on his cards. He should be down to, I believe, 2 now. He should be going from 3 to 2, so it'll be interesting to see here.
And he drops the Demolisher Dread, which will kill Bazine.
Yep. Looks like I won't see that card any quickly.
Yeah.
But just another unit to follow it up. That's tough.
Yeah, no, I think you really needed to develop the board there. I mean, I would look at this as, I'd almost expect the hero deck to be the aggressor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely with the units that they're playing. The Jango deck is playing a lot of the classic, slow, more controlling style from Boba Green cards, while Ian's got a lot more of the, faster, kind of like Sabine Yellow, aggro cards. So it really sucks to see that he didn't draw anything, for that turn.
Yeah, and he would have had a Falcon in his hand. I don't think that's what he took. He took a Spark.
Yeah, no, he took Spark, so he did have the Falcon. So interesting. I guess he didn't want to have to pay the 1 every time.
Yeah.
But
okay, and he went, and I guess this is why he has Steel. He has Steel Guerrero, which is a new card.
Yeah. It really depends. Let's see what event. Okay. Blood and Sword is going to be an interesting event. I'm pretty sure that's the do 2 damage to all ground, right? The new 2-cost card that we were given.
I think Bloodsport.
Yes, I believe that's what that was shown. At least I'm trying to tell from the arts, but
yeah, exactly. In my goal to make coverage as good as it can be, I now can do card displays too. I think, and Forlom is good right now. I think that's one that Krusher likes to see.
Yeah, it's a good card here. We're not getting too much of a valuable trade. I guess now we're going to be killing that. He can also kill Steel. It's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to do. Yep, he's going to kill Steel with it. So board control is now very firmly in Krusher's side. The ramp into the play the 5-cost leaders. All the way back in set 1 it was strong, and still now in set 3. Just as strong.
Yeah. And it's a kind of scary proposition to resupply into a pretty aggressive deck, but didn't have much to punish.
Yeah, nothing to punish, not much to pay off. I don't know what event we could be seeing off of these Steel triggers that can, pull us out from this spot.
Well,
if it was like a blue aspect deck, you'd have, of course, all the 1-for-1 rules. But all right, hey, there's definitely one we were looking for.
open fire. So I think
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
He's probably going to take Jango, I would think, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's currently not in, like, the Jango Fed ability doesn't really matter too much.
I suppose.
He doesn't necessarily need to kill it.
They can keep Grogu from attacking.
I would be more scared of, the Zuckuss ambush.
Yeah. And Greedo can actually attack and survive here. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it really does not.
So both players thinking through their moves. And that is Bloodsport, I believe.
Yep.
A hyperspace one, nonetheless. Pull that up.
So now we got Jango to 6 damage, Forlom to 2, kills off the Greedo. He's going to flip a card, does hit with Greedo. So he finished off the Grogu, but Grogu was going to die anyways. I think the players just forgot to put the 2 damage on there. Yep. Or no, I don't think it is Bloodsport. That's a different art. I think it's actually Grenade Strike.
Grenade Strike. Yeah.
Which I think is 2 damage to one and 1 to another. Right. I think that's actually because that's why the Grogu didn't die.
All right, so 9 damage on Ian's base. Krusher plays out a super laser tech, which is probably not what he wants to be doing with his life right now. It's always good to.
No, we would have loved to see Fire Spray here from Crusher's side, but Ian is definitely okay with this fact.
Yeah, and he's playing Darren Raid.
Daring Raid onto Forlom is interesting.
All right, and the P-38 comes down.
With no targets for its ability, but 3-2 in space, still scary enough.
Yeah, it is a May ability, so he doesn't have to hurt his own unit. Not anything to play it on because there's no board.
Yep, no value for it exactly, but,
Yeah, it's been interesting.
This is the weird spot.
Ian's very much been playing the control, so he loses 2 fire sprays.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, there's not a lot of smuggle in Crusher's deck, so that's an effective turn.
Yeah, no, only blasters and bazines, but we don't want to smuggle those out really anyways at this point. It definitely was very telling when Krusher didn't resource up to 7, kind of showed his hand what he really had,
Yep.
But you would have hoped it was just at least one of them, but man, losing both fire sprays is tough.
Yeah, he's taking damage, though. I mean, it's not from huge units, but it's adding up. He's at 15 health. He's halfway there.
Yeah, and this is the kind of like the downturn of Ian's hand was, he didn't really have any units to try to control the board with. Just relying on these red spells has really kind of let Krusher just go crazy. But now we're on 7 resources for Mace, I believe. So Mace should be coming down soon. Hopefully, gain back board control. We're going to immediately flip and kill the Forlom. All right, throw Super Laser Tech into the Mace to exhaust it with Jango ability. Open fire on the P-31. That's going to do 1 damage to Mace. All right, Ian is now rested game control. Krusher plays the Infiltrator. He would have loved to see a 7-drop here, whether it was a Maul or a Vader, but luckily for Ian's side, we don't see it. But this 4-5 is threatening. Mace will hopefully answer it. But it really depends on who's getting initiative going to the next turn. Because if Krusher ends up with it, Jango tap will keep delaying that big unit.
So he has an R2 to look for something here. He gets rid of a Poe.
All right. Yep, discards a Poe to R2.
A hyperfoil Poe, nonetheless.
Very fancy.
Very fancy. Agreed. Yeah, hopefully my volume is getting back. I'm not sure. Not sure why that is. So Mace is a big beater. I mean, he does something on deploy because he does 2 damage to every ground unit, but he doesn't do anything thereafter once he's out.
Yeah, and he really wants to be able to just swing and kill this infiltrator for free. The 4/5 does not do well into the 5/8, 3 damage on it.
All right, so he plays another grenade strike.
Well, it seems like Krusher immediately took initiative after the R2, which is what I was thinking could possibly happen. So now if Krusher has an ISB agent with an event or another P-38, it can keep that mace from dealing with the infiltrator. Because this R2 is not set up to be able to finish that off. Still has 3 health left, so.
Yeah, I mean the droid on droid violence. All right, we're going into late rounds of the game. 18 damage on Ian's base. Mace Windu trying to hold on here, but has a board advantage against Crusher's Jango. Looks like Krusher has gone to 7 now.
Yeah. He went to 7 last turn, but had no of the 7 drops.
Yeah, and he talked in the masterclass about, not overly resourcing, which I think, a lot of people do. There's always times that you have to resource, but
all right,
a lot of times you keep the cards. So he's got a Zuckuss and the 4/5 Saboteur and a Super Laser Tech.
We definitely could have assumed. So I think if we're taking here, we're probably just taking Zuckuss.
Yeah,
I feel at this point we should be safe to killing the infiltrator. So and Mace is going to kill the other one when he plays it. So I think he should play Super Laser Tech first, which I think he will. We could assume what Crusher's hand was based on the actions he took. The fact that he's trading to the R2 and not having a unit tap down the mace was very telling. That his hand had not the strongest of cards. Okay, we are actually going to be ambushing Super Laser into Mace to exhaust it. Here we go.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Jango, this ability, although not as strong as Boba's was, man, can you get a lot of value out of it.
Yep, and now he does able to finish off the infiltrating Demolisher with Daring Raid.
Yep, second one's going to get played, then we're going to see a claim. We'll see if Ian will have a different card that can beat this infiltrator, or if we're going to have to lose the mace.
Yeah, the mace in his deck is actually probably ideal because it'd be able to finish it off and ready.
Yeah. Mace unit would be great. So it's definitely now both players are trying to draw their 7 drops. We're now at the part of the game. Both players want to see their big cost cards. Krusher would love to see a Vader or a Maul here, and Ian wants to see, the Mace himself or another one of the cards that can, so we don't have to lose our leader on this attack. But
yeah, Yavin Base says, nice to see Mace yellow, isn't it, though? So he has to take out the Demolisher.
Yep. So we threw Mace into the Demolisher. Ooh. I'm guessing that was a pass as well from Krusher.
He decides to go Cassian, which is a good play right now. Play things that are ready. We still haven't seen that Falcon, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think we have either.
Yeah, Cassian comes in with a blaster. What's Krusher? Crusher's just baiting him? Did he claim? Maybe he drew dead.
Oh, he has just nothing. Oh, wow.
Just bricked.
Well, yeah, what did he draw? We knew he emptied his hand out last turn because the Spark saw Zuckuss, Super Laser, and Infiltrator. Now those cards dealt with.
So he has a
okay.
He has a ISB agent.
Yep,
But,
ISB agent shows a card. I don't really. We saw a view of the event used to tap it.
right. I'd be surprised if he doesn't have Forlon. Seems like
I don't know if he has it.
Han unit.
If he had Forlom, he would have played it last turn, without a doubt.
Oh, I don't think he. I was thinking he drew it with playing the ISP
Yeah.
to do 1 damage, but maybe he's just doing what he can.
Yeah, now Krusher is immediately on the back foot. This is the scary part for these colors, you know. Even like my testing of set 2, it felt like this Boba Green deck really needed to draw well.
Yeah, and you see him drop down the. Now there are 2 of them. I think there's actually 10 damage on Crusher's base. He didn't mark it, but I think the Cassian attacked again that turn.
No, it got exhausted from ISP agent.
You're right. It did get exhausted. You're right. I'm not good enough with Jango. And I have a Jango showcase that I managed to pull, but haven't actually run it in a deck yet because I've been focused on getting Maul
These
ready.
ISB agents and the P38s are very strong, cards, with this Jango ability.
Oh, absolutely. Surprise strike, Han to base.
Yeah, we are just going ham now. We are really pushing for end here, trying to, capitalize on this part that we're, Krusher is clearly not drawing well out of the situation. So Ian, noticing this is just going right in for the kill.
Yeah, no, he's a Han attack from dead. I mean, so Crusher's got a claim, right?
You gotta really what cards get you out of this position, because that's the only surprise strike in Ian's deck. I do believe he's only running 1, so there's no other pump effects. Possibly, I don't know if he's playing Blaster.
I don't know. I don't think there's a card anymore unless.
The Poe play as well. There's nothing he can have at that point.
I mean, evacuate.
This
maybe.
Yeah, no. He finally drew the Vader, but
he needed that a while ago. So Ian takes a lead.
Yeah.
So Bothan
surprising.
Goes up 3-0 in the event with.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that was a great game one.
That was a very surprising game one. It looked like Krusher was having a very strong start to that game.
Yeah, and then it really just turned quickly with. Cassian came out, and then it was poor draws though. I mean that they had to be.
It seems that they're still playing it out, but yeah, there's not much he could do. He's gonna tap one of them down, but any of the other units just kills.
All right.
Yep.
So I've got
to base.
I've got my sound jacked as much as I can, guys. I see Frank's there. I mean, one thing that is there, if you're listening on a phone speaker or something like that, my voice is about as bass as you can get. I sang the lowest thing in there, so bigger speakers help. All right, so
yeah, he's definitely
Krusher shocked. Because he ramped. He had Jango out. He had complete domination of the board throughout the flip turn. But all the investing early in dumping the hand. The pillage of the 2 fire sprays.
Yeah, the pillage, the force throw. It was like 2 force throws he threw out. Just stripped Krusher of that pivotal turn. I think if that one of those fire sprays came out, the game was probably Krusher's easy.
Yeah.
But Ian just got right there and ripped full game control right back.
Yeah. Smoka says he hears me just fine. That's good. Perhaps that fixed it. Crusher's going to a sideboard. I'm not sure Ian is. If I'm Ian, I would have expected Jango Green, just knowing who my opponent is. And, why wouldn't you pre-board for your opponent in this kind of match?
Yeah, that's a similar plan that I have. Later when I play my game.
Yeah.
George
the Hulk, who's a great guy, in the chat says, went with yellow to shore up or abuse discard an early force user. Discard Rex Jango red and synergy focus play. Yeah, you saw it there. And Ian did a great job of timing it too, I thought.
Yeah. I definitely thought it was very scary, when that pillage came out. It felt like, he he was getting all the discards, but I don't know if he could, get board control back. But
Yeah, and I read Krusher not resourcing as I think there was an excellent insight, Tyler, that was a signal that there was fire spray and that was coming. Because that's the main reason that you would do that. Whereas if he had a 7, he
yeah,
would have went elsewhere. So I mean, the attack was followed by pillage. I can tell you that my best, one of the best decks that I have from set 3, I really like Quinlan Voss with this color combination. Yellow with red and Tarkenton. I mean, that is an impressive deck for an aggro strategy that still kills things kind of just incidentally as you do it. And can discard
yeah, I do
handily.
agree with you with that one. I haven't really totally decided what my set 3 deck's gonna be. I was, a Boba Yellow tryhard for all of set 2, but
Suspended.
I'm, yeah, definitely got suspend on that one. So a lot more testing's gonna be done for what I'll be playing, but who knows?
And I'm looking forward to. I'll probably just sleeve Crusher's list. I mean, I know he knows his deck, very well, and see where it goes, from here. With my Jango, I have all the cards for it.
Yeah, man, the meta is so open right now. I know, like immediately, at least in our groups and stuff, everyone was so. Once they heard the Boba ban, it was like, all right, Han Yellow is going to dominate. It's going to take it over. And now, based on the week or so of testing that we've all had, it sounds like it's not too crazy, of going to be a dominance. It really depends to see what people bring to these events. It's going to be super open.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the SCG Con coming up, seeing what everybody brews up. I'm sure we'll see Sabine. I'm sure we'll see this color combination of Jango. I'm sure we'll see Jango Red. There's a
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Jango Red I expect.
yeah
But,
with Bobby Sapphire doing well with that, and he's a great player at KTOD. If you guys aren't subscribed there, go ahead and do that. It's a great Discord for building decks. But you'll also see some stuff beyond. I mean, I would not be surprised to see a Quinlan take off. I think Quinlan is the best competitive set 3 leader. You can quote me on that.
okay, interesting.
Kind of an off character from Star Wars too. I'm surprised he got a leadership. I mean, I think does that mean we're seeing Quinlan in a Star Wars show soon? That's what would make the most sense, right?
I don't know about that. I'm not the most on Star Wars lore and thing. Well, the only thing I care about Star Wars is a 2-game little series that came out a good bit ago. Knights of the Old Republic. That's my kind of stuff, and I would love to see anything in this game related to that.
Oh, there will
But,
be. I'd be surprised if we don't see Revan at some point.
Oh, I would love. You talk about showcases. I never wanted to buy one, but I would. That thing would get framed so fast.
Yeah, I still haven't bought a showcase. I won one showcase. I pulled 2, 3. My son pulled one at the tail end of set 1. I traded for one after another.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, like playing these events, winning cards like this, it's like the best part about trading card games, A lot of the, and Star Wars game just came out. People are just in the bin. It's like the actual heyday. Like we are here in the climb of the spike of popularity for this game, like where everyone is getting in, tournaments are being run, people are there grinding events.
Yeah, I feel like the game hit its groove in a serious way with this set. I mean, this feels good with Clone Wars, having Anakin out there, Mace, Ahsoka, all the characters that you love from the late prequel era, I guess. We got Maul. I can't forget
And
my
they
Sith
all
boy.
have very valuable, abilities and attributes that allow them to be, I think, very competitively viable. Set 2, we saw, I think, a definite, decline to the cards available to us, but set 3, I think, is going to be shaking a lot of stuff up, especially with that Boba suspension. But it seems like we're about to get into game number 2. Krusher will be claiming or having the initiative again due to his loss. I wonder to see, what things are going to be changing. Is it just going to be, simple standard plan for Krusher again? Very, hoping to get the ramp on the beginning and just try to this time, finish out, draw correctly, and win at that aspect.
Maybe draw Vader and Barrage. I mean, that's my advice to Crusher. So he's gonna work on that skill issue.
Yeah, he'll definitely have to work on that skill issue. Is sideboard, 3 Waylays, 3 Lurking TIE Phantoms, 2 Cloud Riders, and 2 Reinforcement Walkers.
And you have the finalist, Evanson, just as predicted. Cheers, Krusher.
Yep, all right.
Run the flex. I'm going to do it
Yep,
too. I'm
the
gonna do
champion. Yeah, that beautiful champion, Evanson, definitely in there.
Yeah, I think I'll run one because I only have one finalist, Evanson. But why don't you run the PQ finalist card if you're playing? Why not?
Yeah, I get you.
And
But
Ian's got a flex too.
this-
You know where that mat comes from on the right?
I believe it's the Gen Con mat, right?
Yeah, you are right. I mean, who doesn't want a finalizer? But yeah, Ian.
That art looks sick.
Mhm.
Yeah, it definitely looks sick.
If only the card was not trash.
So now we have a very interesting board state that's going to end up.
Okay.
This Evazan really kind of got, this R2 can't handle it. This card 2/4 very strong, and so now it's going to be how much value can Krusher get out of this Evazan, and how much can Ian get out of killing the Evazan.
And there's not any. There's not much saboteur in Ian's deck either, which is one thing that you look at for Evanson.
Yeah, no, it definitely. I feel like it's going to be a 2-hit. Yep, like we're seeing. Pop the shield, put 3 damage on it.
Though it does play both ways a little bit because, Evanson can't kill himself on R2 either, which is one thing that you want.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, Grogu's good.
Yeah, not much value.
Force throw's good.
Coming here.
Is he
Force
choosing
throw could be
himself?
very good.
Does he have something less than 3? I mean, if he gets a 3,
Stack's
he
got a lot of
resets.
them.
I mean,
If-
the dream of Mace right now is that he discards a barrage to kill Evanson. He's going to get to reset his resources.
All right.
Does he have a Falcon? He's so good.
Yeah, do we have something that pays off, the Evazan here? Oh, yeah, we do. All right.
Ahsoka's
A
good.
3-cost Ahsoka, 3/4. Here we go. This board state. Now it's just a complete swap. Game 1, Krusher, got that early ramp off, got the pressure, and Ian just could not, get board control until, resource 7. But now it is completely swapped. Krusher is being super punished for the ramp early, and Ian is now full board control.
I'm rethinking my intent to run that Evanson. That's the kind of thing that can happen right there.
Yep, that's why I never ran it in my deck. All right, the classic, ECL version, where you are ambushing out a Zuckuss. What do we kill? It's going to be a question here. I would be surprised if it isn't the Ahsoka. And it was the Grogu. Okay.
He doesn't want his leader to be tapped down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense. There's not many cards that Ian can have that can now deal with the Zuckuss. He has to throw a lot of damage in onto both these units. So.
Pillage on curve. He gets a Vader and a Reinforcement Walker.
Oof. Yeah, this discard. Alright, but, Pillage is great now if Ian can control the board state again, but this Zuckuss currently is a little unmatched.
Yeah, no, nothing feels good into the Zuckuss. R2 goes to damage to Zuckuss, maybe?
Either Zuckuss or Jango. Find out.
Yeah, it's Zuckuss.
Alright, now the question is, does Jango even go anywhere but face here? So you just go right into the base.
Nope.
Yep, right into base.
Base is the place.
Yeah. Jango is on the back foot here, does not have many cards to set up. So trying to hopefully use the early ramp pressure to now try to win this game.
I think Ahsoka goes base.
Ahsoka. Oh, I don't know if the Ahsoka goes base.
Well, she can't kill Zuckuss. She can't kill Jango. She dies to
She
both.
can put up to 5 and Jango could kill it, or Mace could finish it off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to pay 1 resource.
That's a good point.
Which-
I mean, I think that's an excellent point, Tyler, with the with the mace ability. I don't know if he thought about that because I was adding
Yeah,
up
he
too.
didn't have
He could have.
he didn't have the resource to pay for it last turn because he spent 4 on the pillage, but he could have, first action this turn killed Zuckuss, and now, Jango went and finished off that to even make sure that the Zuckuss is, free going. Do we have a second blaster? It's the real question here.
Always looking for that dual wield blaster.
Yep. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
this Krusher is trying to end this game fast now. That was a dangerous misstep by Ian, I think. I think he needed to, notice that he has got to do board control stat, and that 3 damage on base can be immensely detrimental.
Well, not only that, he had nothing to play.
Even worse.
He played no cards. He did a mace ability. So now Ahsoka gets to ambush, so she can finish off Zuckuss, which she needs to do, or the game is over. But there's 14 damage on Mace's base, and he's still got a upgraded leader.
Crusher's up to 7 resources as well. Okay, we are triple blastering. Okay, yep.
Why not draw them all?
Yeah, draw all of them.
And you know what one answer to discard is? Smuggle.
Just not play cards. Can't discard them if they're not in my hand. Well, this is the scary part of the red removal suite, where it's just seven damage is tough.
The second finalist copy of Evazan.
Yeah, second Evazan.
Yeah, and
I don't even know if he should have even played that Evazan. I think it should have just been a claim. So we're forcing 7 damage. There's 21 on base.
Ooh.
He's not, I don't think, playing Surprise Strike. That Evazan was a
mistake. I agree with you.
Definitely a mistake.
Yep, because of Mace's deployability, which, probably isn't on the top of Krusher's mind because not a lot of people. I mean,
this Evazan though is still quite safe. The shield is going to pose a very much of a problem here. Oh, never mind. We got the daring raid. So this unit's going to get answered with. The issue is now what is coming, off of Krusher's side. Do we have a 7 cost? Do we have a fire spray? Ian be able to answer whatever comes down.
So he kills Evanson to ready 1.
Yep, he passes and immediately kills him. Ian must have nothing in his hand.
Yeah.
He must have just absolutely nothing there if that's what we're doing.
Yep, and then Maul. It's pretty good.
Yup.
Mace can't use his ability. Well, Han's a good answer, though.
This is immensely interesting. So we're now up to 25 damage on base. No, we're up to 26, it looks like.
That's right.
The overwhelm there. 4 damage left,
So
all the Sabine players, dreaming of 4 causes.
I run it in my Quinlan deck. I mean, people, and like what?
You could definitely tell some control players that way, and you see this like mid-range style leader and immediately just get finished out from a 4 cause. So.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
I could see it.
I mean, Reinforcement Walker's real good. It's one of the few units he can't destroy. Does he have a surprise strike? It's what he needs right now. He's got to take care of that Walker.
Yeah.
Right? He's only got 1.
Yeah, no, we would have. Oh, this is tough.
Where's
a
my
blaster?
Surprise strike? Ian looks through his hands. He finds a Poe. You can't do that. You're gonna be dead.
Yeah, you can't do that. You're. So there was the idea with last turn, the whole last round when Krusher was just passing. There was case in point where Ian could have just, claimed, left the Evazan on the field, dealt with the Evazan, with the Han. He should have, I think 100%, maybe just claimed, dealt with the Han or Evazan with the Han, untapped everything. You know, we'd have drawn more. All right.
Post.
Krusher will take game 2.
All right, so tied
It
up
will-
1-1. We are going to a game 3, folks. We are going to a
Yeah,
game
this
3.
is not a shutout. We have a tight and interesting match on our hands. All right.
And Maclunky's on the board. Maclunky's on the board.
Yeah, let's go, team. All right. So, you know, dust brush the dust off my shoulders, you know. Not going to get shut out 0-4. That's what I like to see. All right. So it sounds like, you know, or at least not sounds, but it definitely seemed a lot like game 1, Krusher completely, you know, deck just kind of died on him there. Ian, I think, had like 2 pivotal turns where if he changed decisions, I think he would have been in the same kind of situation he was game 1. I think that Ahsoka should have definitely put damage onto Zuckuss, and, you know, I think he should have, you know, definitely just claimed there when Krusher was passing. You know, those extra cards would have mattered, I think, a lot more. But now we're sitting here. But yeah, Krusher did set in the Reinforcement Walker. You know, we did get to see that, which makes sense. You know, players got to see each other's decks for 3 minutes at the start, very similar to, you know, the PQ top cuts that hopefully everyone's had now experience with, you know, for the few that have made it to a top 8. Or at least judged it as well.
Yeah, that's exactly how we did it. We do a 3-minute look, see, at the other side's deck list. Both are submitted to the recording staff so that, you know, we have it. I mean, there's the chance of a judge call, you know, here, which we'll handle if it happens. But
so yeah, on Ian's side, the Ahsokas were in his sideboard. Those came in for game 2. He has Disabling Fang Fighters, Azatug Gunship, and Greedos as well, which we did not see.
Brandon Snyder, couldn't he have killed the Walker with Grenade Strike and Mace Ability and Han? Grenade Strike 2-1.
The 1 damage is on a different unit, so
yeah, so
it would have been
2 damage to it there, and then the 3rd damage coming from Mace, his ability, because he would have had the ability to pay for it.
Yeah, no, he
is a 6-9 though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 6-9. That is 3.
That's 3. Then yeah, I think you're right, Brandon Snyder. I think you're right.
I think there's just been a lot of niche lines. You know, this is the struggle with, you know, playing a new kind of deck. You know, a lot of new cards, especially for players that have only played one deck a whole bunch. You know, trying to pick up something else and play it super optimally is tough.
Right.
You know, Krusher benefits a lot because this is, you know, very similar style to what he's used to. But Ian, on the other side, not too suited to these red cards. But yeah, that Reinforcement Walker is a insane hassle for Ian to deal with. He's got no waylays, nothing of the sort to, you know, deal with it swiftly. You know, we have no single target removal. It just has to be an overwhelming board control in order to deal with that thing when it comes down. All right, this is going to be a very pivotal game 3. So we got Spark of Rebellion to start it off.
That's a hell of a hand, and there's 0 chance that Resupply is making it out of this turn.
Yeah, what is that first card?
Evanson.
To the left of the...
Evanson.
It's an Evanson? Okay.
Yeah, you let him play Evanson, and you rip the Resupply, which is exactly what Ian does.
Yeah. There's also a case of taking the Evazan, though. I don't know. I think it's honestly fine for Krusher to ramp here. He didn't really have too many cards that pay off the ramp before he's going to have to draw into it, but, you know, the games have definitely looked like when Ian, you know, gets to these later sides that it seems to be a lot more him favored, but we'll see how this decision plays out.
Yeah. I like taking the Resupply. I think that's good. You don't have to deal with Jango as fast. Plays a Grogu, which is a good card.
Oh, yeah. Grogu's good. This is going to be tough. So we're hoping to see a force throw from Ian's side. Otherwise, I think this Evanson had to go. Okay, yep, there's the force throw. So Krusher claims. Either he just claimed or passed. I don't know necessarily. You know,
Yeah, we're not sure.
What's
whether
up?
it's
So
pinned,
there's the
but-
overwhelming. Oh yeah, he claimed. No, he
Yeah.
claimed with no cost on 3. Yeah, so we drew none of the early cards. All right, so that force throw was very pivotal.
Yeah. So now the Evanson is vulnerable.
There's also a case there to not use the force throw in that turn. You know, we would have liked to have seen maybe a mace to ping off the shield first, but
Yeah,
then you're
he had such good cards though. I mean, and having
Yeah.
having already seen the passer claim, I think he probably claimed just off the gun.
yeah,
right?
you knew that it had to be above 3.
Yeah, you knew he was
It's
gonna.
it's tough.
He knew he was gonna get barrage, basically, because he is barrage of fire spray, or probably a Vader, or so whatever else he
So
drew.
3 damage into Grogu, exhausted. That is a daring raid.
I think so. Oh, it's pillage.
Nope.
Pillage.
Oh, pillage. Okay.
So the discard hitting hard.
Oh yeah, this is.
So, but Krusher does have 3 cards.
Yeah, you should be going down to 1 here.
Which one to keep?
Yeah, it really depends on the 4 cards he drew for the last turn in this one.
That's fire spray.
Cloud
and-
Rider. Cloud Rider, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
So Cloud Rider came in.
And he keeps his.
Okay,
Demolisher.
makes sense. I was wondering that Cloud Rider felt, or seems okay here. I know it gets answered a mace, but this one makes a whole lot more sense. That 4/5 body is terrifying now. All right, so this man, we would love to see, this Grogu. Man, this Grogu is really tough because the best card I think Ian could have right here would be like an Ahsoka, but the ambush gets shut out because we have the Grogu. Maybe if Krusher plays a 3rd unit, the Ahsoka kills Evazan, untap, play something else. Okay, there you go. Hey, I changed my mind. Even better.
Yeah, that's one of the
Even
best.
better, the Ahsoka.
It's one of the best new cards. Plo Koon.
Yeah, that 3/6 ambush, getting in there.
And readying the 5 resources.
Yeah, the 5
cards
resources
2 cards left.
will be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, what you're looking for if you're Ian with those 5 resources.
So, we would love to see, I think, a Poe here.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think,
Ooh,
okay,
but instead
it's neither of those. It's a Cassian.
Yeah, Cassian's okay though. Cassian can. He's found another barrage, so Jango's gonna.
So
be able
that's
to,
5 damage. It's going to.
Yeah, probably.
So we
finish
can either
off
kill
Plo.
Cassian. Yeah, or kill Plo and Grogu.
I might just ping Cassian for 1 to exhaust him, and then you can leave Grogu for the attack. He's got to take care of Plo, right? So that 3 damage has got to hit.
No, he just kills those 2.
It just kills those 2. He's got 1 more damage.
He can also now just kill Cassian, though.
because Plo is 3. Grogu has 5.
I think that's Cassian.
Oh yeah, Jango's not a 4/7. Jango's a 3/7.
No, he had 3/7. It's only 5 damage. Okay, he made the correct line. I was getting scared with the attack that he would, swing into ECL instead, but we do need to put damage onto this infiltrator because now Mace will flip over and kill that.
Mm-hmm.
Jango just going right to base with the 5 damage.
Yep.
All right. We are on 6 resources for the Mace player. Things we really want to see.
And Krusher has been playing his butt off with tough circumstances with all this discard.
Yeah. No, the cards are lining up quite well for him, With how badly the first 2 turns went, I feel like if Ian just had slightly different starting cards, this could have been a completely different game yet again.
Yeah, I mean, barrage is always a good thing to draw when you're on 5 resources. And we know he drew it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good.
I think we know he drew it.
No, we definitely knew he drew it because he
was
had
down-
0 cards
he was
left
down to
after
0.
pillage.
Yep. So if you're going to
Yep.
top deck a barrage.
Yeah, he should be on only 1 card here. So we're just resourcing and playing a card each turn.
Yeah, and this is one of those circumstances where if I'm Ian, I mean, even with this, I advocate an early force throw with initiative. I mean, doesn't matter the damage. Just have him not play a card. Worst that can happen to you.
Yeah.
That is you get busy.
Okay. Yeah, he's just doing the spark. Okay. It's just the waylay. So waylay came in. So a lot of cards from sideboard came in from Krusher. That really sucks for Ian. You know, we wanted to hit a fire spray there, but hey, we're also okay that it wasn't a fire spray. But
and we'll see if he has a Bazine or blasters. I mean, the blasters were the
So,
star
this
of the
is-
last game.
yeah, this is those kind of, you know, tough decisions that, you know, a lot of players, you know, can sit about and making. You know, like in Ian's situation here, he has to recognize how far behind am I, and you know, when he could, you know, instead of that spark, you know, the decision thinking in his head is like, can I be okay with, you know, trying to hope that he doesn't have a fire spray in hand?
Yeah, but look at Ian
And-
setting up the mace flip here. I mean,
Yeah.
so I think he's going to get Bazined is what's going to happen. But
Bazine shouldn't matter too much here.
well, he's got 2 cards in his hand. He's been playing from Smuggle, so he's going to see a Han unit and a Ahsoka. I mean, you rip Han.
Yeah, that Han's probably gone. Yep.
All right, we got 74 people watching live the second round of the Set 3 show match. Thanks for joining us today. We have a decisive Game 3 between Krusher and
Yeah,
Maclunky
very
Gaming.
tight game 3.
Yeah, and Ian with Mace Windows. So,
All right, so Ian did not go for the full clear. He just chose, you know, correctly, I think, to claim instead.
yeah, and
now we're going to clear the 2 big units off.
yeah, Mace is looking better than I evaluated him with that 2 damage deploy. That's not bad. That's not
No,
bad.
it's definitely there. And the 5 attack hits hard, but okay. Yep. This is different from game 1, though. Krusher got the 7 drop. This is exactly what Ian did not want to see here.
When in doubt, play Vader.
So, yeah, Krusher doesn't have too many, you know, like stalwart cards, no Bobas, you know, no 7th Fleet Defenders, nothing of like the true aggro. Yes, we're just getting a Super Laser tech, but
That's a poor
yeah, this
hit.
could just be good enough.
Yeah, actually, Crusher's list doesn't have 7 Fleet Defender, does it?
Yeah, no Bobas or 7 Defender. Very interesting, you know. It's probably taking slots because of the ISB agent and the Starfighter, but yeah, no ambush makes sense. Now it's just, can the Mace player clean up this board state?
He's taking. Let me up.
No, that is not 5 damage on base. Yeah, we're up to 18 damage, going to 19 damage on base.
And then, yeah, that enables Ahsoka to kill the Vader, though.
Yep, there's the Ahsoka, kills the Vader.
Ooh,
Kira.
I like Kira.
Okay.
Right here. Yep, I like Kira right here.
This is the downside of this point, where we now have no idea what he named,
I can,
because it is a empty hand. What do you think? What do you think?
It's Fire Sprayer Vader. That's what it is. I think.
Fire Spray, Vader, Maul. It has to be
Maul.
one of those 3. You know, I think is probably on that side. Honestly, I think Maul may be the scariest in hindsight. Now that you know, with the fact that I know Crusher's deck and his Vader hits aren't that great. You know, the Maul killing Mace, killing Bazine with it is, you know, that would be insanely terrible.
I tend to think it's Fire Spray though, because that's the one where he doesn't have good answers. I mean, he's got lots of ground.
Yeah,
but Maul,
that's the hope. But
yeah, Maul hurts you too. I mean, the overwhelm is good. I mean, I tell you what, he does need to get rid of that Bazine so that Maul can't redirect damage.
yeah, so we see a Cloud Rider taking off the Mace. A force throw gets rid of, I think that was an Infiltrator, but, you know, correctly killing the Mace.
Yeah.
Krusher had, you know, definitely had the idea into what Ian's hand would be.
Yep, and he clears Bazine primarily for Maul, I think.
All right, here we go. This is the top deck game. What card does Ian have? Okay.
Steel's good. Steel good.
Dangerous card, though. We're going to 23. we're gonna get an event. What event here? What can even help us at this point? Open fires, I guess, as well.
Yeah, open fire he can get pillage.
Well, pillage is probably not going to have any use because I imagine whatever Krusher's doing, because he's he definitely claimed he's probably either resourcing and just insta slamming down whatever hit he draws.
Surprise strike is a tactic. Daring raid is a tactic. He takes daring raid.
I guess daring raid was played to kill the
Killed the tech.
super laser tech.
Hey, he's got to save the damage any way he can. He's only got 7 health left.
Yeah,
And he's got a board. I mean,
he's got an okay board. So in game 1, Ian was able to lock this up because Krusher spent like 3 turns missing his top end. Will Krusher continue to miss the top end?
here's Steela for everybody. It's a 4-3 fringe and can search for tactics.
Okay. All right, so I think that was just a starfighter. All right, so we're tapping down Steela.
Yeah.
We're doing the Jango thing.
You know what card we haven't seen Ian play is Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, he had it in game 1, and we didn't see it ever get played.
Where are they? Kira
It would be good here.
Kira comes in with a hot. Yeah, it'd be real good here.
All right. This is the annoyance of Jango. We're trying to Ian is trying to do the plan of just, all right, maybe I'm just going to kill you 25 before you can do this last 7. But that tap, that 4 damage, instead of putting him to 9, we're still at 5. 20 damage away is a big number.
Yeah, no, he's stabilized, but he's way, way behind that base. He doesn't have overly offensive units. The Kira's a 5/5 now with 1 damage on it with the gun. Yeah, and he's got 6 resources left.
Yeah, both players. He's at the mercy of the top deck. Okay. All right, Ian. Oh, yeah, Krusher's not playing. Okay, Ian definitely hit the best card first. Krusher, I think this Starfighter, although good, can be tough for Ian to deal with, is definitely a thing. I think he should have 100% pinged that Starfighter. I don't know, can Mace ping it? Let me see.
He can't ping it.
Oh, it's only to a
damage.
damaged. It's got to be damaged first. Yep.
Got to be damage.
Okay.
We'll
Tough.
Display Poe in all his glory. Basically, the only bad thing about Poe is his tag sucks. Because for the now there are 2 of them, but I mean it just does all kinds of things.
Yeah. All right. So we were here before. We're very similar. Game 1 board state where there's a lot of damage on Ian's base, but Ian has the full board state and it's all on Krusher. Can he draw out of this? Will he draw a Vader? Will he draw the Maul?
Yeah, he needs Maul.
Or will he draw a Fire Spray? And what is that Kira naming? Oh, it's such a pivotal name.
Yeah, well, we went through 3 to base.
3 to base, 26. Only 4 left. No pump spells in Krusher's deck. You only have blasters and overwhelming barrages. So,
yep, and
it'll be at least a 2-turn action with this.
Yeah, well, we have Maul is lethal. Maul is lethal.
Yeah.
Play him because Steel he can do.
Yeah, Steel's only got 2 HP, so 5 over. We better hope that Kira's naming Maul. For Ian's side, I hope that Kira named Maul. I was supportive of it a couple turns ago.
Or if he has a spark. that might be the play.
Yeah.
Right now.
So it had to be this 3rd spark because we saw one on the first round, and then we saw one last turn, or the 2 turns ago. I can't remember exactly. It had to be his 3rd spark.
Yeah. So he's representing a potential of 8 damage with Poe, 5 damage with Kira for 13, and 4 damage with Steel. So he's representing all kinds of damage. He can get close to lethal himself this turn.
But close to lethal.
But he doesn't.
Is the kicker.
He needs not to die. He doesn't have much defense, and he has no healing.
Yeah, so that's like 17 plus 5, 22. Hilariously, the Jango exhaust, put him out from lethal this turn. That Jango exhaust, man, critical.
Yeah,
Ian would have had lethal this turn if not for it.
and he's thinking through his actions. Must got multiple lines. He's just going to go with Poe. I guess so. Chooses
Attacking 5.
6.
Yep, attacking 6.
6 natural.
But no
on attack. Here's Maul.
no action. Oh, is it Maul to finish it off?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So it must have been naming Fire Spray.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I would have named. And they do handshakes.
There's the handshake.
There's the handshake through the
handshake.
through the end. We're there. These guys are across the country from us. Well, let's go back to the Decklist. How about that for a round 2 of the show match? You want to see good set 3 matches with new leaders. We just had one there.
I felt coming into this, Mace was not, there to do well. It seemed like Jango would just run over this, but wow, that was 3 really tight games. There was a lot of minute decisions there that I think really paid off.
Yeah, and I think it was well played games. I want to say that Krusher was probably thinking he would see Hero Red Blue based upon how he set his deck and his sideboard, but he had the sideboard to adjust. And the
he definitely had a good preparation. Yeah, that free reinforcement locker locked up game 2. Cloud Rider was very pivotal game 3, killing the Mace. Getting board control. Waylay we just saw get discarded was not played at all, but a lot of cards came in. Would be very intrigued. I'll have to ask him later. Exactly if he can remember his sideboard decisions or what came out. We never saw the Palps return. We never saw the Change of Heart. We saw now there are 2 of them, but it got discarded. The Evazans we did see. They, as Evazan does, it put damage in, but sadly for Ian, he didn't really capitalize immensely on the Evazan bounty. We got to see a Plo Koon untap, but no real good hitter came after it.
Yeah, no, I think he played a steal or something like that.
Yeah, no, the steal came out after. Yeah, it didn't hit there. But yeah, for Ian's list though, this yellow list very interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that too. It was interesting to see Ian get to that. Where were his Falcons all game? We never saw that card played, did we?
We saw in hand game 1.
Saw it in hand,
but
right.
That's when that was when he had no early turn units, and he passed with 3 resources up, on the second round, and I, definitely was trying to be all right, I'm the slower player. I don't want to be paying 1 resource each turn,
Right.
But
all right, so let's look at the standings updated after round 2. Late Night Gaming still to play, but at 0. Bothan Network 3, and your team Maclunky Gaming goes up to 2.
Yeah, glad we could come back a little bit. Not a shutout. Thank you, Krusher.
And tomorrow night we have this guy named Dark Tyler that's playing. So you're actually in the Anakin Dooku match.
Yes, I will be on the Dooku side. I have a good close friend who was, the entire drive up to our, Rochester PQ, where it's a 6-hour drive that we spent to go to that one. We spent I think 3 or 4 hours just debating, Dooku. Dooku blew a whole bunch, and that was so. Yeah, this is my time to shine. I'm gonna see how that pays out.
Yeah, I look forward to that. Phil Ritchie in the chat says you did great, Ian. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
well played.
No, definitely. Yeah, definitely applause to both players. It was a very good match. I was quite amazed. I imagine the chat and everyone loved getting those games.
Yep, and we had about double the people watching live as we did today. Anybody still around? make sure that you're subbed to Maclunky Gaming, their Twitch and their YouTube, and Blonde Sabine and Bothan Network, and in the Discord. And please do a comment, like, subscribe, chain on the video. Help the algorithm. Let's get this out there, because I think this is about as good as content as you can get for Star Wars Unlimited right now.
Yeah, no, this was a great event. I'm very excited to see, what our 3 teams come up with next time, Maybe a full-on competitive match where everyone brings their, full competitive decks. See who's the real, the best team is.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm biding my time and sharpening my double-sided lightsaber for Mr. Phil in the chat.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
You hear me, Phil. All right. So thanks, everybody, for watching this long. We will see you tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, for round 3 with Anakin Skywalker versus Count Dooku. Later.